Hello, hello, hello. It is your boys, the DM podcast, once again giving you that flavor in your ear. We have a crapshoot of things to talk about. We're gonna talk some, NCAA March Madness. The madness is upon us, so we gotta talk it. We'll talk some NBA stuff. The NBA, I don't want to call it like this. This is like the more boring stretch, even though this should be more exciting because there should be a lot of teams fighting for playoff spots. But I think if we look at the standings, it seems pretty chalk now. I think it seems we pretty much know. But there's this one team out in Dallas that I think is trying to fight for a playoff spot, but I'm not sure what they're doing. But we have a few things to talk about, of course. But before I continue, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. How's my boy YS doing?
You already know every day above ground.
As long as we're above ground, we are good. I think we're both the gray boys today because we're both
Mm, mm.
gray. Um, we can start off by talking about the madness. March Madness has been upon us. It's like one of the first times I would say like it's been pretty chalk. I normally do like 12 different type of ones. I only did seven this time,
Oh
um,
shit.
which is actually it's actually a human being decent size to do. But the ones I did, the ones where I thought about it, like I actually generally thought of like, okay, who can win? I've been pretty right. I One of my things is at like a 93% correct, which is like a lot of
That's
people have that. Yeah, it's because some teams are like I picked one team, but I, a lot of it's pretty chalk, man. Honestly, it's pretty chalk.
a few favorites. You know what I mean? A few surprises. Nice surprise in the first round, right? Maryland
Yeah.
almost dropped to Colorado State. Colorado State got a guy, Neat Clifford, 6'6", 200 pounds.
Mm.
I think he's fifth year senior. I'm telling you, he's a guy. He can ball. They have him in the mock draft right now. Bleacher Report at like 22. Like
Really?
end of the first round, yeah, end of the first round. Like in
Wow.
this draft, what I'm noticing about March Madness, right? Shout out to NIL deals, is that I'm seeing a lot of seniors and fifth year guys. Like this is the most ever I'm seeing. I love it personally, you know. Walter
They
Clayton Jr., another guy
yeah.
4 year in Florida. Like, sorry to cut you, sorry to cut you,
No,
bro.
no, no. I cut you. I was just gonna say that like the one thing that's hilarious, if we had Mance play at least 4 years, Paulo would be a senior on Duke right now.
Oh my God.
Paulo would be a senior on Duke. There'd be a lot of Mans. Like you think about it, Chet would still be on his squad. Like there's a few guys that would still be in their squad. They would have also they'd have Paulo, they would have McCain, Jerry McCain, and they would have thing. But I think that's so easy to say now. There's no way all those guys would be on this. Maybe there would be. Because like back in the day, there was a stretch of like Georgetown that had Patrick Ewing, and there's a young man named Alonzo Mourning that was just on the come up. Like,
Yeah, yeah. George Big East, Georgetown, those days, 80s, crazy. Big East,
yeah.
crazy. St. John's, crazy. Shout out to St. John's in the auto.
But this year with it all, just there's nothing really crazy. Nothing crazy, nothing is shocking. I just want to see. We have okay. We have all four number ones are still in the Sweet 16, all four. I think we have all number twos. One, two. We have three number twos. We have two or three. Yeah, two number threes, and one. I think three number fours. Three number fours. Yeah, we've been pretty chalk this year. Like, because normally doesn't you normally get to your largest seed is the 10th seed Arkansas, who has a legendary coach under them.
No. Arkansas is balling. Like Arkansas is really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're one of the best coaches. So
Yeah.
it just makes sense.
To me, I like Patino. I like Patino over St. John's. He's that guy, the mentality, like I'll do whatever it takes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I like Patino over there still.
Yeah, that's why, but it's really, you know, the thing is, you think about it, Calipari, he was a like I wouldn't call him a celebrity when he was coaching, but people were talking about him.
He was
You-
Drake especially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like we were talking about him,
yeah,
like when
yeah.
because he had a squad. He had squads, man. Man had like he had the when he had like basically all the Kentucky guys that are on the in the league now. He coached them.
AD,
Cat, freaking,
was Cousins at Kentucky?
yeah,
Cousins at Kentucky? Cousins.
Cousins, Booker,
Booker.
SGA.
Jay, yeah.
He probably coached Bledsoe, if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so he coached beer guys off Darian Fox.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox, Kentucky, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They had a little matchup against him and Lonzo, UCLA, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that little game. Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what the college game, like I get, like you said, man, the NIL deals and the transfer portal, it's kind of hurting the league.
The NIL,
Overall.
the transfer portal, I think is hurting it the most, I feel. The NIL
Oh
now
yeah, yeah, yeah. Transfer is killing it, killing it.
is killing everything still because it's,
I saw a report that the three mans last year it was FAU, I think that's Florida Atlantic University, I think.
yeah,
They
yeah,
have three mans, all are on different teams that are currently even the coach is on a different team. The coach coaches Michigan right now. And the third leading scorer of that Florida, the FAU team that made it to like the Sweet 16, like Elite Eight last year,
yeah,
is the leading scorer of the Michigan team. And they're and like the next man from Florida, who's like the second or third, and then their
yeah.
main scorer in FAU is like I think the second or third option on the next team.
The
Like
transfer portal is crazy. But
he's doing that, and that was a mid-major, like a lower team. That's not a big squad, and they took all their guys and their coach and put them on like top SEC Big Ten teams. Like that transfer portal is it's not just you just look at the players, man. It's changing coaches too. Because coaches are leaving for their small, because it makes sense, man. You're in like a small squad,
you're
like
gonna do what's best for you and your family. Let's keep it above.
bro.
Let's keep it
Kentucky
above.
Kentucky's calling you and said, "Hey, Scott, we love what you did at Central Michigan. Do you
Yeah,
want to play? Do you want to play for you want to play for Kentucky? We're gonna pay you 5 mil a year." Oh, I already packed my kids' stuff. I don't say don't. I don't
oh,
want you to even think about it. I'll pack. Come on, man. It's an easy dub for them. What else have you seen from the tournament so far? Anything you like? Any players stood out to you?
man. Any players? Shout out to Derek Queen.
Yeah, he's been playing good.
That guy blocking shots, hitting that awkward type running shot that you just hit in horse or some playground to win the game. Like he's a guy, he has footwork. You know, he can pass, he can shoot. He's a guy still. I like him still. You know, I like Caleb Love, Arizona. He's decent. He does his thing. Right.
Yeah, he's
I
gonna
like
be a
VJ.
backup.
Hmm?
He's gonna be like a backup point guard, maybe a third option, third point guard on a team in the NBA. I think so. He's a good quality player.
As long as he's like I look at him like a Caldwell Pope.
Mm.
Like that type of player in the league, like 3D, get out on defense sort of thing, right?
He's a
Also,
versatile.
yeah, I like VJ.
I
Yeah, I
love
like
BJ.
VJ.
There's already mocks now that have put him higher than Ace Bailey. There's so much
Yes,
mock that have put him
yes,
already higher
yes,
because once again, like I hope all these players make it and do well for themselves. Like I don't have any horse in this race. But I just look at like what has worked in the past, and a guy like VJ has worked in the past. Even if even if the down to the he's willing to pass the ball and play a role. If as long as you're willing to play a role, you'll make it in this league.
100, 100, 100.
If you want to be like, give me the ball ISO 20 minutes a game, man, no way,
I'm gonna mess with you.
right? Like you really need to go to a team. Like the best thing that can happen to any person is getting drafted to Utah. That'd be
Mm.
the best thing for you, or Washington,
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna get runs. You're gonna get time. You're gonna get it all out.
And we need a star. So you'll be our star. I think that's like and maybe I'm wrong, but I think me and you've always talked about like situation does matter where you get drafted.
Definitely.
right?
It can change the trajectory of your career. Like that
Like Devin Booker, if he was, if he was drafted on,
Spurs.
it would be just different for him especially at that time. Come on, man, it wouldn't have been different. You would have to sit in the corner, especially because people thought you were not Trey, Klay Thompson. They thought you were Klay Thompson, right? That's when you came into the league. That was your comparison. So if you thought you were about to score 70 points, you would have never scored. You would never score 70 points on the Spurs. Kawhi barely scored on the Spurs. Kawhi like legit barely scored on the Spurs.
Yeah, he was scoring like 16, 17. It wasn't like 26, 25.
Right. When he went to the Raptors, he started scoring. Like I think the year before he scored a little bit more because they didn't have anybody. And LaMarcus was hurt.
Kawhi was on the Spurs with Duncan. Duncan was still doing this thing.
Right. So it's just like, yeah, there's in order for you to be the man, you really gotta step out and like really
Hmm.
show some eliteness. But like who else has like top picks? Like I don't know. I'll ask you like if you get drafted to the 76ers, let's say they win a third, fourth, fifth overall pick. Obviously they have the talent, but like if they got Cooper Flag, let's say if they got Cooper Flag, you'll probably change everything. You probably change Embiid. But if you got Ace Bailey, right? Ace Bailey wants to be like a guy. Can he be a guy in Philly?
The thing is, with the construct Philly has right now, he can't be a guy because there's a pecking order, there's a pay scale. So there's no way.
Yeah.
There's too much guys getting paid. Like Uber is gonna get more. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's
He's gonna get more touches than you right now. It's just because he's a vet and everything. Like they're not gonna Maxi's getting like the most touches next year. He's
and
just
when McCain comes back, for example,
true, true, true,
it was
true.
like you're like literally eighth off the rip.
Legit, like we're not starting you unless we trade Paul George. And anyone who's gonna call us for Paul George is asking for you anyway. So like, and we're not gonna trade you. Or we have to trade McCain probably to trade a Paul George.
And I
That's
don't
how
really
bad.
want to trade McCain, especially if
That's
McCain was.
that's how bad the Paul George stuff has literally gone. Like,
This guy is so washed. It's
I'm
crazy.
I'm sorry to bring up his name to you. My apologies. I
Is
just wanted to give an example. I just wanted to give it, but like then I think like an Ace Bailey, if he joined the Raptors, let's say we got Brandon Ingram. We have Emmanuel quickly. I think they would probably trade RJ potentially. I'm just saying. I wouldn't want to trade RJ. The last thing I want to do is trade RJ. I want to see this team run. Like this team's borderline too good in East. They're like actually borderline too good. Um, they're really like they're trying harder than everyone to tank, and it's not working for them.
it's
Like
crazy.
that's why my name is Raptors can't tank. Like they can't do it. They're trying. They just can't do it. They're too
Did they
talented.
play today? Did they win?
They did win. I didn't even watch the game. I forgot. But they faced Washington.
I know, and I'm like, this is
You
tough.
you can't out tank that. You
Yeah.
just can't out tank it. So like um if Ace Bailey goes to the Raptors, think about it. Our number one scoring option will probably be Brandon Ingram. We just paid him, so it has to be him.
100,
Our
100.
number two scoring option is Scotty.
Why?
No, I think it
It
should be
should be
Scotty.
Star J. Continue though.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you in that sense. Yes. If RJ's I'm assuming RJ's not on the team. So that's why I say it. But
Okay.
if RJ's on the team, let's say they're like, you know what, we're just gonna add talent and see what happens. We're gonna OKC it. Whatever happens,
I
happens.
love no. I love
Like,
that. Add talent because
just add
talent.
talent.
I feel like talent will make it work. Personally,
Right. So then it goes Ingram, RJ, Scotty, quickly.
yes,
That's your four guys already.
100.
And then Hurdle's gonna add, like he's your center. So he has to get touches. He has to. Look at Hartenstein. Hartenstein's averaging like 10 points a game because you
He's
have
having a
to
double
give it to
double.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to. You have no choice. You have to
Ugly
give it,
ass floater, and he's just getting it.
right? And then, mind you, we still have a guy that as Raptor fans, probably haven't spoken about is Grady Dick, who you still want to believe in, even though I think like he's the type of player that you may have to trade to get like an older player who can help you more. So, but
So,
contracts have to match.
so
Um, and you want to still be young, right? This like you're still super young. Brandon Ingram's only 26 at the end of the day. And RJ's only 26 too, or 25. Like these
So,
guys are still very young.
yeah.
So that means they haven't hit the technical prime yet, if you want to do math on prime. So like yeah, so if you're Ace Bailey and you still got Jacoby Walter that you got, so you still want to give him some touches. So if you're Ace Bailey, you're what, seventh on the
Yeah, at
shooting
least.
chart?
Yeah. And he's 6'9", 6'10", can shoot, stuff like that. But it's like,
Like look at Jabari Smith, look at Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore on the Washington Wizards is averaging 22 points a game.
100.
Jabari Parker could probably average 15 points a game. And with Houston, bro, these guys are like eighth, ninth men.
Yep. Yeah.
Cam Whitmore barely plays sometimes. And playoff time, he's probably not gonna play,
Playoff time rosters get even shorter
right? So
next.
so if you think about like a team like Houston, they're going Fred, Dylan, Sengun, Green, and who's
Thompson.
Thompson. Then you got your benches, Tari Eason. Um, I'm missing somebody. Probably
Um,
Jabari. Then Jabari probably plays. Um,
Bryce Jr., yeah, he's on the bench then.
like, so he'll play. So we got Tari Eason, you got Jabari. I think they started Jabari before Amen, but Amen's playing too well.
Yeah.
Uh, so you do that, and then there's some next people that you got to play. But Cam is probably not playing. You're just not gonna play, which is fine. It happens. But I think all in all, it goes back to what we're talking about the draft. Like where you get drafted is going to matter. It's going to matter, right?
Matters a lot more than people think. Trust me.
Yeah. So yeah, so is there any other team you would want to be drafted then? If you want to be a guy. If you want to be a guy. There's Washington, there's Utah. Pelicans, are you a guy?
Pelicans have messed up. Until they trade Zion, you're not going to be a guy. They're always going to focus on him. So I would say, who else is there? Everyone has a guy. Washington, you got Toronto.
Yeah.
Who else is bad?
Like Chicago just refuses. They beat Denver.
Actually, I think Chicago. You could go in Chicago and be a guy still.
Yeah, but like what is well, Chicago has to win now because they've done, the crazy in Chicago has been better since trading thing, whatever his name is.
Zach LaVine,
Zach LaVine, yeah.
bro, like
Chicago's eight and
right?
two. Chicago's 8-2 in the last 10. They, besides Boston, have like the best record in the last 10 games in the Eastern Conference.
Holy shit.
We're gonna talk about scariest, and they're not a scary team, but like, could they beat Orlando for the eighth seed? Is it possible?
Honestly, I don't think so, but I don't.
They're one of the from the beginning of the season, I've been saying they're one of the weirdest teams to predict and to talk about. Why can't you just be bad? Like we talk about the Raptors tank. I would never want to be a Chicago Bulls fan right now because it's like for the past 3 years you just didn't want to be a bad team.
They've been a little less than mid. Yeah,
Like you don't want you don't want to be bad,
it's
which
been a
is
little less than mid. And hey, honestly speaking, Chicago, you need to tank next year for damn sure because next year's draft is still looking good.
yeah,
You do have
definitely,
opportunities.
definitely. But then Josh Giddey's been pretty good the past few games, which is like weird. He's been averaging some double doubles, some like straight average of triple double one of the games. He's been pretty good, man. He's been hooping. Do you have any who do you think was gonna win the tournament? Did you have a prediction for it?
Honestly, I just rock with my team Duke. Let's
Mm.
rock with Duke straight up. You know what I mean? But I do have another team for this year where I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Gators. You know what I mean?
Out
I'm
of
not
all
gonna
the
lie.
picks that I made, that's a team I didn't pick. I don't know why.
I like what I'm seeing from the Gators still.
Yeah, they could win it all. I do agree.
You know,
I
so
I think Auburn has a veteran team, and I think in the tournament that helps. They're like one of the oldest teams. They're actually that's why they're like a boring team. They have nobody on the squad, which is the definition of an NCAA team that's gonna be like from the projections, I should say, because hopefully they will be. But there's no one on the squad that is going to be a top 10 player. There's no one that's projecting that way. They're just
Mhm.
a good quality team. Do you know their average age for Auburn is like 23.5 or something?
That's these guys are all fifth year.
Yeah. And you know what the average age of OKC is? Like like 24, like 24. So it's like really like a few months older as OKC than
That's
Auburn.
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. And you see what OKC is doing.
Yes. Now OKC has the best record because the Cavs can't win the games anymore.
It's
They,
clinched that they're like, oh, we don't care anymore.
I you want to hope that Houston has the best defense once again in the NCAA tournament. That's the same squad that our Toronto's Jamal Shed came from. He's a really good defender. But I think like this next rounds are looking really good, man. It's looking really good. So there's gonna be some nice matchups. Michigan State, Ole Miss, it should be a good matchup. Auburn, Michigan should be good.
Mhm.
Florida, Maryland should be
That's
phenomenal.
fireworks for me.
That one should be
That's the
phenomenal.
game.
And that
And
Duke Arizona should be pretty fire too.
that's the two for me.
Yeah,
Shout out to Arizona.
yeah. I would like to see like sometimes the ones make it all the way because it just shows like
Yeah,
dominance of them
because
of the best teams. But we'll
Duke
see.
should make it all the way. They got a big man. Raptors having a projected mock that is kind of upsetting me.
The African, right?
Luke Kamala,
Yeah,
I'm thinking I'm pronouncing him wrong. My bad, G. But yeah,
yeah.
it's like, do we need that or do we want talent?
They say once again, all this is projection, right? They say with him, he has the skill set to be something. They say he has the skill set to be something. So if he was fell to the Raptors, because his draft stock keeps going up and down. At one point, top five, then went down to 15, then like 20, then back to top 10. Uh,
Yes,
so it's like, oh, is he gonna be that type of player? Is he be like a player that shows a bunch of flashes but doesn't do anything? Right? Because that's like the worst player to have is the one that you're like, okay, this is what he could do. Okay, let's see it. Like, let's see the everything part. But just, yeah, no. I think I would hate to see guys like that. I don't like the inconsistency of it all. Okay, let's talk about the playoff race, you know? All in all, it looks pretty chalk. I think nothing's truly gonna change. So much teams are so behind. Like the Pacers and the Bucks. The Bucks lost today. We're recording this at nighttime, so the Bucks lost to the Phoenix Suns. Um, we're gonna talk about they didn't have Dame, but we're gonna talk about the hottest team. But if I can quickly say, the Bucks are the most up and down team in my brain. I just think they have the talent to make it to the finals and win it all. Because I believe in Giannis. Like I believe in Giannis so much to lead this team to the finals. I just
hmm
believe in him. With Dame being there, and I don't believe in Kuzma, but I believe that like I believe in Bobby Portis,
definitely when he
right?
comes.
I believe in Brooke Lopez,
Definitely,
right? And mind you, he plays very old. But I feel like the one thing that kids are not gonna know, and I feel us old heads eventually are gonna have to argue about Brooke Lopez. That man really changed his game.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, from
Like
yeah,
that man was a 20 and 10, looked like probably not 20 and 10, but like 23 and like 7, looked like a Tim Duncan type.
yeah, like one of the old school centers that could put in work. You know what I mean? Like if he's back in like the 2002, 97, he'd be putting work on Sean Bradley, Elden Campbell, those guys. He'd be putting work on them.
And just for some
Ball
reason,
for Candy.
now
Shout
that
out Ball for Candy. Number one pick. Shut up. Let's get it.
uh, I just want to quickly look at his stats.
That's the shades we're talking about.
Okay, so he well, at one point with like New Jersey and Brooklyn was like 18 and 8 or 18 and pretty much 19 and 7. Then he did 20 and 6. Then he had a really bad rebound year of 3.6. That's right. How you go from 6 to 3.6? Okay. But 19 points, 19, 20 points, 17, 20, 20. and then we went to the Lakers. And mind you, this man is the all-time leading scorer for the Brooklyn Nets.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's all-time leading scorer for the Brooklyn Nets,
True.
right? So like, but I think it's because it's an organization that has gone through so much like changes. You had the J Kid era, then you kind of went into like the Darren Williams, Brooke Lopez, then Darren Williams and KG and all of them came, and like then it was just Brooke Lopez again, and then you just were bad for the past few years,
Yeah, and then you had KD, Kyrie, Harden,
right? And well, let's give D'Angelo Russell that one good year that the Brooklyn Nets had, where they were dancing every 2 seconds.
and then they traded him after that year.
They traded him after that.
So, so
Um, D'Angelo Russell's the definition of inconsistency, right? A guy that like an amazing passer, but we didn't see it what we as a fundamental
inconsistent shot,
yeah,
can play make, defenses up and down, right?
very
Not
up
the
and down.
fastest guy,
Yeah,
you know,
very up and
not most athletic. Like he can play when he's on, but when he's off, it's
down.
like he'll
Yeah,
give you
when he's
some.
off, he's off. Like you don't want to
Yeah,
see him on the court.
yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Okay, so playoffs, which will lead to me to the first question I want to ask you. Should Dallas fight for a playoff spot or fight for a play-in spot, I should say?
Mm.
Because Anthony Davis is back. He wants to play. He's playing. I think me and you both agree. What is this for?
Yeah, you know what I feel? I feel like they should fucking fight. You know why I feel they should fight? Because they owe the fans. They owe the fans
But the,
something to cheer about because it's going downhill quick over there. So that's why, and that's the only reason I feel they should fight to get into the playoffs. That's the only reason, nothing else.
um, I have to ask you a question. Do you have a spoon or like a spatula near you?
I don't.
Because you cooking. Because you cooking. Because you cooking. I ain't gonna lie. You right. You right. I'm wrong, brother. You right. Because I'm like, nah, they should tank. But you're right. Because if I'm the fan, mind you, if I'm a fan, I'm still depressed inside that you did what you did. Um, but you're right. You're right. Like you owe it to the fans. Like I don't even care. This team better be competitive. Like I don't care. We lost Kyrie. We were keep losing big after big. Like I need some silver light. Like I need some silver lining. For you're cooking, brother. You're cooking. You're right. Cause like I didn't even see it like that. So if you got more sauces to put on that statement, you please
That meal's done. That meal's done, but you already know. Yeah.
like you're right, man. They should, because you traded Luka Doncic. I still can't believe it. It's like it's like you say I'm having lasagna, but I'm not putting the pasta on it. Like what do you do? What's the point? It's not lasagna. That's just
Just me.
meat. That's
Just
just
me.
meat. Like, what are you saying? What do you that's is I don't even know what other it's like a burger with no like bun, like or no actually
Toppings.
yeah,
Yeah.
like just like it's
Just beef.
you just took it out, right? Like you just took out everything. Um yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. It's a grill with no actual grill, just fire. You just put the burger on fire.
How you gonna
And
do that? How you gonna
like
do it?
nah, man, it's disappointing. But I agree with you, man. Dallas should fight. Phoenix is a team that's so inconsistent. We talk about disappointing, and we're like so we're gonna talk about how disappointing Philly is, and they're ultimately the most disappointing team. But the way Phoenix is actually very disappointing, it's like
Beyond. It's beyond.
two most disappointing teams. Like I don't really care. You guys should never traded for Bradley Beal,
Yeah,
and
that's
like. So you guys have to compete. You 100% have to compete. I always said the team I'm rooting for is the Portland Trailblazers.
straight up. I agree with that statement 100%.
I mean, they have the young talent. They are trying to do something. I'm all in for Portland. See, now if they get a draft pick this year, it makes me think again. If they get a draft pick, does that person become a guy? Is he the guy? Unless it's Cooper,
Yeah.
right? Unless it's Cooper.
Anywhere he's drafted, they can't put him off the bench. They
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, Cooper's the guy. Even like Philly, like I would almost. if I don't want anything good to happen. I want them to lose that pick to OKC so badly. But if I'm Philly, I'm like, man, if we get Cooper, like it's good. Because to me, if you get a young guy, you're to me you what are you doing? Then you really got to go Maxi McCain and this whatever the young guy is. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, you got it because this doesn't make sense. Who else are you gonna pick? And but I think if you're also Philly and you get the second overall pick, you see if you can trade that pick with Paul George and you get an actual guy, right? Like you get you because you can trade Paul George and a pick for like Devin Booker,
Yeah, yeah. Paul George's not worth the most right now, but yeah, yeah.
right? Because you're just doing the money, but you're really trading that second overall pick. And if you're Phoenix, you just got a second overall pick. You can now put Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper as your future, trade KD for some draft picks, and then you just keep Bradley Beal just for the fun of it. And then you really start your rebuild. I just literally just I saved the Phoenix Suns.
You saved the franchise
I
in
saved both
30
franchises
seconds.
now.
Yeah,
I saved both franchises.
you should be the GM because I don't know
Like,
what this nigga doing.
because like I know Phoenix, like James Jones has said, bro, fuck them picks. I don't care about picks. I don't care. And clearly it shows you don't care about picks. We can see it. You don't care about picks, but like that's the thing I'll do. If I was Philly, I would want the second
You don't
overall.
care about picks, but you care about no trade clause Bradley Beal.
Oh my goodness me. Like, because to me, if you got Booker on Philly, once again, I don't know who I don't care about Embiid anymore. I would say, wow, I have a young point guard in Maxi, and I got still a very young two guard in Booker. That's my squad, and I can build around it. And it's the Eastern Conference, so it's gonna be a little bit easier. And then Embiid, you just tell Embiid like, hey, like if you can give me 20 points, I guess I don't know, or 20. I say 20 games. I was saying 20 points, 20 games of Embiid, and I'll just ask him like truly just come in April. Yeah, just come in April. Like I just need April time.
And
I'll
be just play a game a week. We just want you to play one game per week. That's
he turns into a football player. I just need one game a week. Truly speaking, because you're paying him so much money, you have no choice but to like manage him, like legit manage it. But you have no choice, man.
shouldn't have to be like this. It's so disrespectful. That has to be like this.
Yeah, no,
You know, like we're
it
paying a guy to just play in playoffs. It's like
is mine.
I got season tickets. I don't got playoff season tickets. I got
Like
season tickets. Like
it's not the right way to watch basketball, that's for sure. So who do you think I can say the overall, or we can go East and West. We'll probably go East to West. Who's the one team in the East, no matter like who you are, you just don't want to face that team. Like that's the team that you just and mind you, I don't want to say Boston or Cleveland. We'll take those two out. We'll say everyone else
okay, okay. Who's the one team I don't want to face in the
in
East
the
aside
East.
from Boston and Cleveland? Because definitely Boston was the number mother loving first pick.
Yeah, because if there's no one, there's no one. The answer could be nobody.
Who would I be like that would have fear? Like, damn,
If not fear, like who would annoy you the most? I'll say
I honestly, healthy, I would honestly say the Pacers.
they've been playing so well, and like they out like do you sometimes, but sometimes they get really lazy. That's one thing that bothers me about them. They get really lazy and complacent.
Things they run they up and down so much that could drive a team crazy because it's like even if you score, you got to be back on defense. You got to be on cue. Like they push the tempo out and they can score in bunches, right? So that's why that would kind of. I was gonna say the Knicks. I feel like the Pacers are more.
Like a more annoying. They're probably more annoying. I agree with you there. Um, one thing, what would cheese me about facing the Pacers is if Obi Toppin's gonna the man was 6 of 9 shooting the three. The man they beat the team what last week with no guys playing with Obi Toppin like hitting game winners, hitting like fadeaway 3 game winners. Yo, when did Obi Toppin is gonna be in the league for a long period of time if he's gonna dunk, play defense, and shoot threes? Like, come on, he'll be in
Well,
the league for a long
who
time.
remembers Obi Toppin? The shout his bro is in the top 20th in the mock drafts, by the way.
Is that actually his bro? I know his bro. That's actual.
Bro, it's his bro. It's his bro. Yeah.
Oh wow.
JT or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
JT.
yeah. JT Toppin.
Yeah, yeah,
Because he
yeah.
has another brother too.
I believe that's his bro. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. Shit.
And then you know a team that would just annoy me. I ain't gonna lie. That Pistons team would annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't find them scary by any means. I don't think they're a scary team, but they would. Oh my God, if I had to think about them as a whole, I would. I don't want to play them at all. At all, I wouldn't want to play them. They would. So just imagine them. Just imagine them. Just one man is trying to punch you and beat you up. Kate is talking his dirt, and then like, nah, man, they're just annoying me. They have they are young. They believe in themselves, and
Definitely.
so you can't take them lightly because they believe in themselves.
Same with the Pacers. Yeah, they both. Yeah, teams are bleeding. So yeah, 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 yeah.
Yo, a team that believes in themselves is the most annoying team,
Hmm.
right? Like I think that first year Raptors, that 2012, 2013 Raptors that lost to the Brooklyn Nets in seven. That team could have taken LeBron to like seven games because they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't care what they were doing. They were
Just
just
having the offs. Yeah, yeah. They
like, oh,
real buzz. They
right.
have
But
real
once you
buzz.
start thinking about it and you're like, oh no, this is playoffs, you get that's where mans become legends,
Mhm.
right? In the playoffs, you become legends like that. But I agree, it's probably no scary team, but just a bunch of annoying teams. Like one, I said it before, I wouldn't care facing if I'm facing the Bucks, I wouldn't care. They don't fear me,
Me neither. Me
right?
neither.
And once again, I think Giannis is him, second best player in the league. I think first sometimes, like he's him, right? And having a great season. Like the man's having a spectacular season. Second year in a row having a spectacular season. Like he's not underrated because I think we rate him perfectly fine. It just sucks that SGA and Jokic are having such a great year, while he's once again having an amazing year.
SGA it has to win it this year. Shout out SGA.
He's gonna. You know what the crazy thing is? You said you would have picked him last year, SGA. And I
Yep.
think that's how it's like. It reminds me of that Warriors Cavs wins. This year should be Jokic's MVP. Last year should have been SGA's MVP. But it sucks. So now we got to give it to SGA
Yeah, yeah,
because we gave it to Jokic
yeah.
last year. So
It's yeah. And I
it's
don't know, it is what it is. I'm looking at it as like, okay, 20 years from now, at least SGA has MVP.
right. Perfect way to
You
look
know
at
what I
it.
mean? So whether it's the right time to give it to him or the wrong time, at least he got it because there was a season up to date. He was playing, he was the MVP in
I
our
agree.
opinion. So
Is there a scary team in the Western Conference besides OKC to
is
me?
there another team? OKC and who else?
I think OKC. Mind
Just
you,
OKC?
I'm not really scared of OKC to be honest. If I was a team, I wouldn't be scared of OKC. They
I'm
wouldn't
I
play
I
me.
would kind of agree because they're young, they're still inexperienced, right?
Yeah.
But we got to take out OKC. So a team in the West I'd be scared of, healthy, is definitely the biggest market team in the West, the Lakers.
The Lakers are the scariest team. I don't know why it's funny. Since LeBron came back, they've been pretty bad.
That's
Uh,
why we said healthy.
yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So, but I also think like they their first round matchup could be easy if it's against Memphis, but then the next round is against OKC.
Oh shit. There's another team that potentially can be scary too. I want to add to the Rockets.
I can see that. Scary more. I think they
I'll
to
be
me.
annoying. Actually annoying, annoying.
Yeah, I think they fall more than annoying, but I think they could be scary too. Because I'm just imagine if they're like clicking, and like in the playoffs, they're like, "Okay, Sengun, do what you got to do." Jalen Green, play around the margins. Fred hit your two threes. Dylan be a menace. We have a deep young core, a bench. And then Thompson just develops defensively. They could be madly annoying. A team, especially with Dylan Brooks, especially with Dylan Brooks. That shit will
We
just.
keep forgetting like Amen Thompson is their premier defender, but Dylan Brooks is a defender. Remember,
He's
like
he's a
a
pretty
defender.
good defender too.
So if you have Dylan Brooks, Tari Easton, and Thompson on at the same time, which can happen, Fred is not a slouch defender. He's picking up guys full court.
And
So
like all them niggas are mad. All of them are mad. They all are angry at something. Like Detroit, they're all angry at something. They're all just so mad. It's funny we didn't mention Golden State being a scary team to face.
I know, right? Because I feel like yes, Butler's there. They're playing good basketball, but it's just then I don't feel that's the same Golden State, like that same type of
It
Golden
doesn't
State.
give you that fear. Now, I'm
Yeah,
just saying this year doesn't give you that fear. I think if they had a defined role for like someone like Kaminga, I would be a little bit more like, because like if there's like no Kaminga's gonna come off the bench with a Moody and just like be young, run and just like kill us, I'd be like, man, that's scary. But I think there's a lot of mans. Like I'm not sure if they're gonna play, but like I'm not afraid of Quinton Post. I don't care what he can do. Like those mans don't scare me. Respectfully, Draymond doesn't scare me. He's older now. He defensively he's still actually very good, but like
he is. I find
I may leave him open. If he shoots 5 of 9 shooting a three, that's what I gave him. Like I gave him 5 of 9
let me tell you
shooting.
something, and I'm gonna take a little deep dive on that. If we're in a series,
Yeah.
putting my last dollar on Draymond not hitting 33s in this series. You see what I'm saying? And
Really?
that's like, depending on how much games, 4-3-4 a game.
Right.
Right? Let's keep it
Right.
above. So if he does it that one game, please believe it's that one game. He's not going to
Yeah.
do it for a stretch of 6 games.
Yes, I definitely wouldn't I wouldn't believe that. Oh, if remind me, I have this like if I was a coach, something I would do, and I'll ask you your thought process after. And something random that I was thinking of. A team that I would pick as the scariest team to face, I would pick the Denver Nuggets because I truly think they could beat anybody. They like remind me of the Bucks, but they actually are deeper. And Jamal Murray has finally like he woke up in January. I think he woke up in January,
Okay.
but he's like, are we in the playoffs yet? Because he's kind of playing like we're in the playoffs already. And I find that kind of scary. Because if he's Jamal Murray, with Jokic being Jokic,
Yeah.
and Aaron Gordon has become this like, of which he always kind of was, but it's like he's like elevated himself with the switch army knife. He can kind of do anything. He can score, and he's almost borderline becomes a third scorer. And it should be Michael Porter Jr., but it's really him,
And yeah, it should be Michael, definitely should be Michael Porter Jr.
right? And Michael Porter, once again, if Michael Porter Jr. is hitting, hitting nicely, he's not bad. So we can talk about this Denver game. Like, see, didn't they lost because they didn't have anyone. They had Porter and Murray, and that doesn't really do much. Shout out to DeAndre Jordan, who could still get, man got 17 rebounds. And he got 7 assists, man. These guys know how to
DeAndre
pass the
Jordan been
ball.
in the league like 15, 16 years type. Dang.
And Russell Westbrook, to me, I may go on record and I may never slander Russell Westbrook. I love that guy.
You
I
can't.
think he puts so much hard work. Like
Yeah.
I can understand that people don't like his shooting percentage, but
Fuck that.
I
Fuck
don't
that.
really I don't care about shooting percentage, man. The man can get a bucket when I need it the most.
The man plays definitely. There's 10 guys on the court. He's definitely playing the hardest.
He wants
Definitely
it
all the
as bad
time.
as anybody else. Like,
So I cannot ever disrespect a player playing hard. You could be missing shots and you're still going hard. That means you're not getting affected mentally.
yeah,
You
so I
see
think
players, Julius Randle, that are missing. It's like,
oh yeah, his head is down. He's slouched. He's not playing defense. He's swearing. He's mad at teammates. He's missing assignments. Like, no, I don't want that type of guy. I agree with you. And Russell Westbrook, he shows up. Yeah, like sometimes, like he has his. Everyone has their issue. No one's perfect.
thank you,
Nobody's perfect.
thank you.
I like him. That's why I don't care for analytics. I think analytics is the most like chill
Suck.
out things like that. Like, who cares? Like
Ruining the games. Analysts ruining the game.
like yo, because at the end of the day, when that man's across you and you're going one on one, you're not going like, oh, he's not gonna hit that 3 point shot. He's a 33% 3 point shooter. Then he hits it on you, and you be like, that's the 33%. I don't care. That man, when he's on something, it's hard to stop him.
And he's still athletic, playing all games, not sitting out in
Come
his
on, man.
16th, 15th year. Remember, he's a guard. They get banged and
Guard.
they fall the most when they're banged.
His game is very similar to Derrick Rose's game.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose is not in the league anymore. Mind you, he had this like significant injury. But a lot of guys with this athletic, like John Morant's not going to be this way in the
No,
15th year.
he can't. He can't.
So unless he gets a jumper, he just will not be. So I think that's why I think Denver's honestly like if everyone's hitting and they get their quality bench, like with Peyton Watson and
Peyton Watson, there we go. That's a bench. He's a guy to me. He's a guy. Like
he's a
he's a
really good
little
bench
Swiss
guy.
Army knife too. Plays D, hits three, gets little steals here and there.
And in
And
the
what about
playoffs, like
Strawher? What's the name? That Strawher.
I'm looking, I don't know why. Did he? He's probably hurt because when he's shooting that three,
Yeah, man, he's shooting that three with the curls. He's the Captain Light Skin.
he's lights out, light skin lights out.
You
He's
got
lights
the light
out.
skin lineup. You can have light skin lineup in Denver, and it can be crazy. You know what I
I
mean?
realize you really could. You really could.
You
You
got
could put
Strawher, you got Porter, you got Murray, you got Aaron
and
Gordon, you got Joker.
yeah, Joker just he's just light skinned too.
He's
That's that's really light skinned man.
the light skin serve.
I'm thinking who else? Is Stratford? Why is his name on the squad?
Did he get moved? Or am I calling? Is he on a different team? I swear he's on the Nuggets.
No, he's on this team. He's been always missing 4 weeks, and they said that today.
Oh shit. Okay, so just until the
Nonsense.
playoffs come back.
Yeah, just before the playoffs. Yeah, yeah, because like that man, he can light that beam of a shot when he has
Like
it.
that being
Yes, that's the only team that I would say are scary. I understand the Lakers one, veteran presence. We'll do probably our X factors like next week, like playoff X factors, because I'll give a hint. The Lakers X factors is Rui and Gabe Vincent.
oh,
Those two men are on something. I, I have full faith in Luca, LeBron, and I have full faith in Austin Reeves. Like I
Austin Reeves
man, I message you all the time about that guy, saying like, why do I think this guy should be bad? And he just never
guy.
does. He's so fundamentally sound. He gets hit, he gets shots. Like I don't know,
He's waving off Luca and making plays. Stop this. This is Austin Reeves. Stop.
undrafted.
He's undrafted too.
Yeah, and you know he's undrafted in the 2021 year. That 2021 draft class, I was listening to a podcast about it. And they were saying like who's the number one guy now. The odd things that the number one guy in the 2021 draft, it changes a lot depending on year. Like this year, it's Cade. Like if you have to redraft, it's Cade. But I think it's always been Cade. It really
Definitely.
has always been Cade. Like,
Yeah.
but I would also say it's not like a 2020 draft where there's a clear gap. Like even the Wemby draft, there's a clear gap. It's Wemby.
Definitely.
And then
Definitely.
there's like other people, like it's at Edwards and there's everybody else, right? So it's not like it's not the who's 2019 Zion, right? That's Zion is
LaMelo. One's LaMelo. LaMelo was 2020.
yeah, LaMelo's 2020. So to me it's at Edwards and then Halliburton, I think is second. I have to relook at that draft. And then probably if you want to put LaMelo, Desmond Bain, and then maybe another guy or two, but like that's it. Whereas like this draft reminds me of the 20, I could be getting the years wrong, but 2016 draft. Because I think every moment is a different number one. You can tell me that Jaylen Brown is number one. You can tell me that. But 2 years ago, you were telling me Pascal was number one, right? But now
Uh-huh.
it's Jaylen Brown. But right now it's probably Jaylen Brown. He's the best guy out of it. And then it'll go Pascal probably. Then you probably want to go Sabonis, maybe. Sabonis. Then you still got Murray, Ingram. Um, who else is in that draft? Murray, Ingram. I'm
Not
actually
having you with the draft still the years.
I'm missing some guys. I know I'm missing some guys. 2016 draft.
Let me see.
I know it's the Ben Simmons draft, so that's why I know not to pick him.
Mario on the drafts. Okay, let's go to 2016. Okay. Yeah, the Ben Simmons, Murray, yes, bonus. Yes, Siakam. So you got Chris Dunn, but
Pascal.
he healed.
You got Buddy Hield, you got DeJounte Murray, Malcolm Brogdon. It's unfortunate. I don't know what's really.
Where is he?
Yeah, he's on the squad, but he's like a backup. He's got Malik Beasley, he's a good shooter. You got Karis LeVert.
Yep.
Um, so some,
DeJounte Murray.
yeah, like it's a good draft. I think it's one of the more underrated drafts, to be honest.
Actually, looking back, yeah.
So that's why I think that that year is more.
Zubats. Yeah, this is a and Zubats in the second round too.
And that's the same. That's the Fred draft. So Fred as well.
Because he's undrafted, yeah.
He's
So
undrafted, right? So it's a few guys, man, that you would have to mention. Like the 2015 draft is it's probably Karl Anthony Towns, then Booker.
there's a gap, okay.
Would you say there's a gap between Cat and Booker, or would it go Cat Booker gap? Then I think the third guy could be
Like
you could
KP.
it's probably KP. Yeah, probably KP.
I think there's a gap then between because KP was looking like he was a guy, and then
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course the injuries, and then it wasn't like that. So
Yeah, so then that's what I'm saying. So the 2021 draft. So what one guy said, which I never normally agree with him, but I do agree with him now. Like,
2021 draft, you said?
yeah, the 2021 draft, like
Okay.
that draft to me, it's very like one day it's Scotty, one day it's Cade, then you can say it's Mobley. Franz had a freaking stretch this year that you're like, Franz is the best one. Man, it could be one of those drafts that like it really depends, man. But it's one of those things that we may have to wait 10 years.
Franz was a guy that was at a point in the early the season was giving like 22, 6, and 4, 5.
Right? But last year, were we talking about it? We weren't talking about it at all, right? And then there's still Beer Mans. There's still Sengun. Like we still got Sengun that we're not talking about.
21. Sengun's 21, huh? Oh my.
Yeah, like there's Sengun. There's the next
Let
man.
me
I
see.
the name mistaken me. What's the next man from this draft? Jalen Johnson is from this draft. This draft has people. I think they even have an undrafted. Austin Reeves, like I said, undrafted. Like,
Miles McBride.
come on, Miles McBride. Like, there's guys on the squad. But now in 10 years, you'll know who like was the guy. And really it's gonna be depending on championships. Right.
Championships are gonna definitely play a factor. You
Right.
know,
It's
they
gonna
always
really
do.
depend on that. Like if the Cavs win a title, we're gonna be like, okay, Mobley's number two, right? Because he has a title and he helped the title winning team. But when you have a good squad, it goes back to the original thing we talked about the draft. When you have a good squad that you're with, it helps your development.
Definitely.
Scotty being with freaking Pascal, Fred, and OG helps him. Kate is with Tobias Harris, Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr. He's with the man was playing with like Ivy and like Stewart. And that's no shade to them. But you can't have too much young mans,
You can't. You can't. You gotta have a mix.
right?
But just like when Spicy was playing with Kawhi, Lowry, Gasol, like the older vet, you know what I mean? Um,
SGA played with Chris Paul
and
before he
Chris
was like,
Paul.
come on.
And I'm sorry. So Chris Paul's
No,
SGA was a basketball head. He just come over to my house
come
because that's
on.
all he had out there, and he just played basketball, top basketball. Like, yo, that dude right there. And what did Shea do? Say, yo, Chris Paul. He was at a time the number one guard in the league, an MVP candidate type of player,
Yeah,
still in the league 17 years later at the time. Because I think
yeah,
I'm year 19, I think now, whatever.
yeah.
Right? So that's she's like, you know what, let me learn from this vet. It's how I can be in the
Right.
league, how I can train, how I keep my body and what the results now.
Right. It helped him. It
MVP.
helped. It helped Dort. Like Dort is a good, solid player to have, and he learned same ways.
Dort was to me at first when I'm seeing Dort, this guy could bounce on the league a lot.
Yeah, yeah, he
Right?
has that type of his contract and his game is very bounce around the league type.
But now, what I'm seeing from Dort,
They
being
they
around
say they say they wouldn't trade Dort. I think he could because his contract, but he's one of those people that like you don't trade him because he helps the culture. Like he helps the culture so much you don't want to do like you wouldn't want to let him go.
Dort, he just wants to win. He'll do what it takes to win. You know what I mean? He's
He
not
was
trying.
undrafted. He was undrafted.
He's undrafted too.
That's why when I hear about these undrafted guys, I'm like, yo, what do we like? What is this draft sometimes? Like, what are we drafting
They got
mans?
a chip. They got a chip. Those
Yeah,
undrafted.
like, all these mans are undrafted. Like, the draft is such a, we want to tank as Raptor fans, and we'll lead it like down to the Raptor talk, but like, we want to tank so badly. I don't blame the one. I want to tank too. But when I think about it, the squad is not bad. Like Scotty's had a bad shooting the 3 year, but it's okay. He shouldn't shoot the three anyway. Like I don't care for this analytics game. Like I don't care. I want the best plays possible. I want you to shoot where you are good at. Like I don't care. Yo, Giannis doesn't shoot threes anymore.
You don't
He,
need to.
he may shoot the occasional three to keep him honest. Fine, you can pack the paint all you want. Yo, Giannis is his mid range is good now.
That's scary.
Giannis' mid range is really good. So if Scotty's mid range Scotty has a nice little fade post move,
He does. He does. I agree with that. But the thing
right?
with Giannis shooting, his shot was way smoother as a rookie. If you look
Oddly
at him as
enough,
a
right?
rookie,
But he just got bigger. He got too strong.
there's a hitch now. Before when he was shooting as a rookie, it was smooth. Now you
Yeah,
see those.
yeah. So some guys just shouldn't shoot the three. Like Pascal, I think he shoots like shoots three times a game, shooting the three, but he shouldn't because
No,
Pascal
it's too
in the
much.
post footwork is one of the best in the league.
Definitely one of the best in the league.
So you don't got to do all that. Like you really don't got to do all that. Um, and one thing with the Pacers, sorry, real quick, is that like I can't stand nowadays that everyone's loving off Halliburton, and I'm like, people are talking about this guy. Oh, he can make an NBA All NBA team because the way he's played the past. Mind you, he's been really good the past like 3 months. I was
Yeah,
thinking to myself like, "Dude, you got carried a lot by Pascal and Loki. Like Miles Turner hasn't had a bad year,
he hasn't. Yeah,
and I feel like you've been kind of up and down. So I don't really want to like be crowning mans so much.
not too.
Um, but yeah, like with the Raptors, like I just think. Yeah, they won tonight, but it's okay. This team, man, if they got that young center from Duke, I would be okay with it.
I wouldn't be, but hey,
Yeah, yeah, I would. I'd be okay with him. I wouldn't want to trade Johnson from Texas. I don't want that. I don't want him. He's a guard. Like I don't think this team needs more guards. But you do draft if you fall to like eighth or ninth, you draft whatever's available,
yeah, I hear
right?
you.
You draft whatever's available. You can't. At one point, you can't be picky. If we get the guy from Illinois, we bad. The guy who I'd love to take a swing on is BYU. Igor. I would love to take a swing
Igor,
on.
I don't know Igor. Who's Igor? BYU. And I was watching a little bit of the game. Damn.
He's like six. He's like 6'9" maybe. I don't know, 6'9", 6'10". But he can light it up, bro. He can light it up. He can 1,000% light up. He man, that guy's good. Igor's good. I just want to confirm his height. Igor is see, he's like falling down the thing, which he shouldn't.
Yeah.
You say you like McNeely, right?
I haven't really seen him play UConn, right?
Yeah. No, where's he? No. See, he fell to the Pacers. He's from Russia. 6'9" wing.
Oh shoot.
See, they said he's fallen off over the. This is what this Twitter world is drafting. He's still a very interesting prospect for 6'9". He has special passing vision, but lacks shooting hurts his draft stock. He lacks shooting, but mind you, the man can still score the ball.
Say less. I know. Okay.
So I would personally like. I'm okay with taking swings, man. I'm okay with taking a swing. And mind you, know who's gonna take that swing on him? You know who's gonna draft him probably? The freaking Europe team, the Spurs.
I knew it.
And when they draft him, and like you have a great memory. Please remember me saying this. I may forget. When he becomes a good player on the Spurs, you just be like, Michael, you said it.
100. A
Because
hundo.
he's gonna be a good player. He's gonna be and that Spurs locker room and that Spurs coaching and those Spurs coaches to teach him how to shoot better. 6'9" with
You,
special passing vision.
you got CP over there?
He's a 6'9" with special passing. He already wants to do the one thing that everyone should be doing on the Spurs, passing it to Wemby. He
Yeah.
already wants to do that. Come on, man. Come on. You can't do that. So I think whoever the Raptors get, I'll be fine with ultimately. We want to capture the flag, but it's gonna probably go to like the Jazz.
Say
Um,
that.
as long as it doesn't go to the Pelicans. I want honestly, I hope no one I hope somehow the Pelicans have to forfeit their pick. I don't want no one go there. Like I want no one to go there. I don't want everyone to suffer being on that injury prone team.
Like
It's gonna do it.
Rostam.
Yeah, man. I don't want no one to be. Have you seen any Raptor games recently, or you're just like let the season end for them?
Honestly, it's about to let the season end still. Like I'm already like from last week, I'm already like, okay, let the playoffs roll through, sort of thing. From when March Madness approaches, my mind shifts to like, okay, March Madness, who's gonna be the champion, then playoffs,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest. Yeah.
I can see, especially with the Raptors, like. Well, I don't even go on the Raptors spaces too much. They won today, so probably people are going to be happy, but they're still going to argue, and they're going to be like, "Oh, they need to play better defense." Honestly, I don't care. Like the squad this year is not the squad next year.
No.
Like there is some guys that will be there, but when I say it's not next year, the way their style of play is going to be completely different. Like people don't understand when you have a full healthy squad,
Mhm.
and you're going to have Jakob Poeltl at your five. Scotty Barnes at your three or four, it doesn't really matter, but
Right.
he's at that position, and yeah, those two guys can play defense better than most. Then you have RJ, who can score the basket, who's your best at driving to the basket, the best at it. Then you have Brandon Ingram, who can score 20 points a game. And you have Emmanuel Quickly, who's probably an amazing shooter who can help you a lot. Like you have that's your starting five, and then your bench is literally OKC type bench, just a bunch of young guys who can shoot the ball.
And I love that Raptor starting five. Like I'm not gonna keep you. I love that. That's legit starting five.
Bro, you if you're a defense, there's no one that you can double team. Right? Fine, double team Ingram. Okay, so you're leaving Scotty for to make a play, then Scotty will make a play. Y'all can finish well at the rim. Okay, no, we have Emmanuel quickly who like is turning into a he's still like a scoring point guard, but if he can turn more into a passing point guard who can average 10 assists a game because he wants to average 10 assists a game, like him and
Scary.
Scotty want to pass the ball.
That's scary.
RJ and Ingram want to score the ball. And Yak just wants to be in a winning organization because trust me, when Yak is in a winning organization, that defense plays is a little better, right?
Every defense a little better.
Right. And then you have like Jamal Shed, who's a really good defender, who's your backup point guard. You have I love Jameson Battle, who can shoot the three out of 40%. If you have him, you have Jacoby, who can like be your like I don't know, man. This team could be something
Not
else.
Grady. Don't forget Grady.
Who can be another 37 to 38% 3-point shooter. Like you have a squad. You just need to honestly, if you really need a backup bit a big.
You need
If
a
you need
backup big. You need a high draft pick, and we need a fresh start. That's
number one, you need a fresh start.
just all the records are at 0-0.
Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
Ingram in the lineup. We got a high pick.
Right. Because if there's gonna be trades, right? For sure. But unless KD and ultimately like if KD goes to the East, are you worried?
No,
You're not worried. You're like, okay, who cares?
I'm worried about my shit. I'm worried about the Raps. I ain't worried.
Like KD going to the East is not gonna scare you. It does,
Is he like some amazing leader like LeBron? No.
right? So there's no teams next year. Okay, Orlando should be better. You're hoping they should be better. Okay, Orlando, Boston, the Cavs should be good. New York should be good. Detroit should be good. That's five. Um, Pacers should be good, right? But then you got the Bucks. They should be good. They should, to be honest. But you have Toronto should be good because the Hawks you have no idea about. Chicago should be bad. Washington is gonna still be bad next year.
Definitely bad.
Um,
Charlotte is that they're gonna be bad.
they'll be bad next year too.
They're gonna
And
be
unless they get, I can see if they get number one overall pick, that could do some things for them. That could do some things for them because they have Lamelo, um, Miller, and Flag. That could be a special young core.
that's kind of scary actually.
That could be a very special young core. I would really like. I would, but I don't know. I'm not a Lamelo fan. I would want to tell Lamelo to like take basketball seriously because I like Brandon Miller. I think he's an efficient player because he does remind me
You
of his,
said that. I like how you said that. Efficient player. You know,
he,
LaMelo, but okay.
he reminds me because it's his favorite player. I can kind of see it. The Paul George in him. I can kind of see the Paul George Indiana version. I could see it. I could see it because I see Cooper Flag. Like I love Jason Tatum coming out of Duke. I felt like if even if he wasn't a number one guy, I felt this guy's a solid player. He's solid. He's fundamental. He's Tim Duncan. He's Mr. Fundamental,
He is. He is.
right? The last thing I want to mention was I was thinking like a coach, right? If I'm going against a team, I'm not putting my best. I know everyone does it. It all depends on my squad. But like if you had like a Spurs type squad with Danny Green and Kawhi, unless it's like the last 5 minutes, I'm not putting my best defender on their best score. Especially if they can kind of match up. I'm not doing it. So like if I think of a squad like um if I'm going against the Lakers, right? And can you name me a team? Like name me a team and I'm going against the Lakers. I'm trying to think.
Minnesota.
I'm not putting Jaden McDaniels on Luca, right? Or Anthony Edwards could be the best, but I'm maybe putting someone else on Luca. I'm putting someone else on LeBron, right? Like I'm stopping LeBron. Like I'm
You're
taking
doing
away
more
their
team defense.
yeah, I'm taking away their two and threes. Like I'm taking that. Like if I'm OKC has a bunch of defenders, but like if I'm going against OKC, I may put, and I'm like, I'm not putting Dan McDaniels on them. I mean, they're a little weird because they have wings, but like, I'm not putting my best defender on them. I'm guarding Jalen Williams. Like, if I have SGA, you know, I may guard SGA, and you may think I'm crazy, and I understand that. I may Luca or LeBron guard SGA.
Luca definitely is can't be. He's gonna be a pylon.
And the reason why I'm okay with it, because I'm thinking to myself, do let SGA score 50. I don't care. But you know who's guarding Jalen Williams? Guess who's guarding him? Freaking DFS is guarding him. Then after that, Vanderbilt is coming to guard him too. So Jalen Williams can't get a triple double. He can't get a 29 and 6. And then
Also, you're gonna limit. Also, your strategy is to limit the one guy,
everyone else. Yeah.
to okay, not limit the main guy, but let the main guy go off, and everyone else doesn't do shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I would let my second best. I would still want a pretty good guard to guard my guy, the main one. But like, I'm not letting my number one guy. No way, no way. If I had Kawhi and Danny Green can go guard Steph. I'm letting Kawhi guard someone else. Like
Play.
right,
Well, this is old Warriors or
right. You know
what?
what I'm saying? Like, cause let him guard Clay. Like now, obviously, it depends on matchups and things like that. But no way. Like let the man do whatever he wants to do. Let him do whatever he wants to do. Let him think whatever he wants to think. If I have Dort and Caruso, then it doesn't matter because they're both elite defenders. Like if you have elite defenders, this plan doesn't work. But if you have like a really elite defender and a good defender, put the good defender on that best player. Let that elite
I
defender,
hear that. I hear that. I hear
right? I don't know why Karl Anthony Towns looks like a really good defender against Jokic in the playoffs, while freaking thing was roaming. It's a smart play. And Denver can't beat Minnesota for some reason. They really can't,
that. That's wild.
right? They really can't. But
Like,
that's our pod. I think we shared all our thoughts. Do you have any thoughts before we end it?
go Duke. Let's get it.
Go Duke. Go Duke. Illinois lost, so I'm like, I don't know. I don't care anymore.
KJ was balling still. He was kind of balling.
Illinois is my team and they lost, so I don't know what to tell you. But that's it for the week. We have more to come next week. We'll probably do the X factors for some of these playoff teams. And we're gonna see what else is happening in the league overall. It's gonna be the final four by the time we talk again.
Crazy.
Um, okay, the final four should be final four is next week, I believe. Yes, next week. Final four is next week, but we should be talking about because it's the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight this week. So should be fun. We'll know what the final four looks like. And then we'll see. We'll talk about it. But like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk again. Peace.